Are you actually living the life you want, or are you living someone else's version of it? Does your life feel right on paper, but somewhere inside it just doesn't feel right? About a year ago, I finished the first series of The Selfie Seek. And for some reason, I lost the desire to continue to do it. So I gave myself permission to just wait. I stopped, I let it sit. And actually, the lesson in that is what I want to share today. I'm Brendan. I run a health business called Pandion Health. It's a health business in Australia. And I'm also a musician and a psychiatrist. Anyway, you know that feeling where your life seems great, but it doesn't necessarily feel right in the body? That's what I want to talk about today. And look, there's a reason for that. There's a conditioning response that we all have. You see, there's a Jungian analyst called James Hollis, who I'm reminded of. And he said that before the age of 40, you do what the world wants of you. And after the age of 40, you should do what your soul wants of you. Well, I was 40 last year, so it felt pretty appropriate. But it's not about the age necessarily. This can, of course, happen at any stage where you decide to do what your soul wants of you. But let me talk through that a little bit more. You see, when you come out of the womb, there are certain expectations placed upon you. And unfortunately, for some people, that can happen at a really early age. For instance, if a baby cries and the parents are unable to hold that negative emotion, the baby will often learn eventually to withhold that negative emotion. So they're learning to be something else. And even if that happens and it's held appropriately, then at some point as a child, we need to wear clothes because society wants us to. We need to behave because society wants us to behave in a certain way. And even if we still don't do all of that, then eventually we get put into an educational system where there's a certain way that we learn things. It's not necessarily the things that we want to learn about. Of course, a lot of these things are very important for life, but it's still going away often from what our real deep desires and needs are. Eventually, we got to get a job. And most jobs that we get promoted are jobs that society wants and needs, not the ones that we necessarily would most like to do. So what's the point of saying all this? Well, at some point in our life, we lose the core of us, the inside of us, the thing that's truly ours. What gets lost is your true self, and that's what needs reclaiming. And that is the thing where a source of a lot of energy comes from. What does it actually take to start following your energy instead of your obligations, the obligations that the world puts upon you? Well, it might be a little bit more simple than you would expect. The first step is actually to give yourself permission to not do the things that you thought you always had to do, the permission to relax and sit with you. Who are you? What do you want to do? When I was 38, I moved to Bali. And though that was an amazing decision, it took me a long time to actually give myself permission to really let go. You see, I had an online or a virtual job where I had a lot of flexibility and it paid really well. But I still felt like I had to do that at the expense of other things. I really worked to live. So I'd work a little bit and then I would live. It still felt off and I still felt drained a lot of the time. So the first step for me was to give myself permission. I actually decided to give up that job and just see what happens. I gave myself permission to earn less money and to spend more money, to do things in the middle of the day that I hadn't done before. It was quite funny to, in the middle of a Wednesday, to simply go and play paddle or to go to a sauna in the middle of a jungle. But that wasn't easy. I had this pressure in the back of my throat. And honestly, I still get it sometimes where I feel like I need to be doing something. And it was a big shift for me to learn to relax. Mostly I can do it, mostly guilt-free, but I'm still not the best at it. The next step really was to find what gives me energy. And this is what I'd ask you to tune into as well. I started to allow myself to feel when I felt energy. I tuned into what the idea of aliveness and energy was. And for me, that was a feeling here in the middle of the chest, kind of like a bursting open. When I would do something that gave me energy, it didn't matter whether it was social or work-related or sport-related. I gave myself permission to do that more and more and use that really as my compass to decide what I would do. So how do you know when you finally found some degree of reclamation? What is it? Well, for me, I believe that it's something to do with obsession, or at least a healthy amount of obsession. A thing that you think about most of the time and you want to do most of the time. I had this funny experience about 2 months ago where I was working on something in my business, Pandion Health, and I was making some changes, some automations, and I was just overtaken by it. I wanted to do it as soon as I got up in the morning. I wanted to do it at any chance during the day and late at night before I went to bed. I actually forgot, or I just let these things slide. Like I wouldn't trim my beard as much. I wasn't answering messages as much. I'm not gonna lie, my partner was a little bit starved of attention during this time. And for me, this was actually a relatively new experience. I have had little periods of obsession, but it was really wonderful to be so overtaken by something that I felt like I really wanted to do it all the time. So a reclaimed life is not so much about getting more time or money. It's about finding the things that light your soul up so much that everything else matters a little bit less. So here's something to think about. When was the last time that you did something that fully consumed you, that made you feel really obsessed and really gave you all this energy through you that you wanted to do it more and more and more? So reclaiming isn't about finding something new. It's about getting back what was always yours. The aliveness, the energy, the thing that made you you before the world told you how to be. That's what this channel is about. It's not self-help, it's not optimization, it's just reclaiming who you are. So if that sounds like something that would interest you, please do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button and the bell. I believe that's the right thing to say. And I'll see you next week.